The way OKC made the Warriors look like a G League squad wasn't just surprising. It was the kind of performance that makes the whole league sit up straight. Golden State didn't just lose big. They got outclassed from the moment the ball went up. And yeah, people can point out who wasn't available. But when you still have Curry, Green, and Butler on the floor, and you're down by over 30 before the third quarter even settles, that tells the real story. This wasn't a hot shooting night or some random burst of momentum. OKC controlled every layer of the game. Their offense flowed with purpose. Every cut was sharp, every pass was on time, and every defensive rotation looked rehearsed. It was like watching a team run through a perfect practice session while the other side tried to keep up. And that's the biggest difference right now. OKC knows exactly who they are. They're not building towards something anymore. They're living it out in real time. People can argue all they want about who the face of the league is, but if you're watching the games without bias, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing like the top guy in the sport. He's got the poise, the craft, the footwork, the counters, the defense, everything you want from a superstar in control of his era. And it becomes even scarier when you zoom out and realize how loaded the roster is around him. This team is stacked with length, IQ, and role players who know exactly what they bring. They're 11-1 despite missing Jalen Williams all year and missing Lou Dort for several games. Aaron Wiggins hasn't been available. Kenrich Williams hasn't played. And none of that has slowed them down. Most teams lose their second option and their top defender and suddenly fall apart. OKC acts like nothing changed. Shai and Chet set the tone with 51 points, 16 rebounds, 13 assists, and 5 stocks. They didn't just put up numbers, they dictated everything. AJ Mitchell stepped up with 17. Isaiah Joe came in flamethrowing for 18. Jalen Williams chipped in 15 and 5. Caruso came off the bench looking like a defensive nightmare with 5 steals. Those off-season additions, Caruso and Hartenstein, completely shifted the DNA of this team. Before, OKC was talented, promising, and ahead of schedule. Now they look like a group built to win right now. The toughness jumped, the communication jumped, the discipline jumped, and when you watch them closely, the thing that jumps out is how connected they are. Every possession feels intentional. They're not dribbling the air out of the ball. They're not launching bad shots early in the clock. They're not gambling defensively. Everything they do stacks onto the next action. Marc Daigneault deserves massive credit. His whole blueprint is built on trust, timing, and effort, and every player on the roster buys in completely. When Cason Wallace dives across the floor, when Chet rotates perfectly, when Shai walks through double teams like they aren't even real, that's coaching mixed with commitment. What makes them dangerous is the balance, a team that plays with veteran precision but still has the hunger and energy of a young squad with something to prove. In the offensive flow, it's smooth basketball, constant cutting, relocation, swing passes, every player hitting the right read. Even the bench runs the same exact style. No one comes in trying to take over or force shots. They just keep the rhythm moving like the starters never left. That's championship DNA forming in real time. What really separates OKC is how calm they stay when the game gets chaotic. Every great team faces runs. It's the league, but OKC never looks rattled. When momentum swings, Shai slows everything down. Chet locks in defensively. The wings tighten up their rotations. It's maturity beyond their years. And that depth is what makes them such a nightmare to prepare for. Most contenders rely on a short list of guys to save them. The Thunder can plug in almost anyone and keep the same identity one night. Isaiah Joe burns teams from deep. Another night, Wallace turns off the water against high-level scorers. They're interchangeable in the best way. Everyone fits the system. Everyone contributes. They don't get stuck in one style. You try to take away the paint, they space you out. You run them off the line, they cut behind your defense. You send to it Shai, he finds the open man without even hesitating. That's the mark of a team with real versatility. And in the wild part, they're not even close to their peak. They're already dominating elite teams, already controlling tempo, already moving with the confidence of a squad that's been here before. It's got the same energy the early Warriors had, young, electric, and ahead of schedule. But OKC might be even deeper and stronger defensively. They've got legit two-way impact players everywhere. They don't get sped up. They don't panic. They've got that quiet confidence that good teams eventually develop. Only OKC developed it way earlier than expected. What ties all of it together is the culture. There's joy, but there's also accountability. There's swagger, but it's backed by discipline. Veterans like Caruso and Hartenstein brought leadership that blends perfectly with their young core. Shai leads with calmness, not ego, and that mindset spreads through the locker room. They're not acting like a young team trying to figure it out. They're acting like a group that knows exactly what they're chasing. And the city, Oklahoma, is behind them like family. The crowds are loud. The atmosphere is electric. The belief is real. It feels like the 2012 Thunder energy, but this time it's more polished, more mature, and more ready for the big stage. You can feel it every time out, every huddle, every post-game moment. This team truly believes. And when belief meets talent and structure, that's how dynasties start. Meanwhile, Golden State is living the opposite timeline. This loss hit deeper than the score. It showed exactly how far the gap has grown. The energy wasn't there. The athleticism wasn't there. The sharpness wasn't there. Even if Steph went off, OKC had complete control. The Warriors' defense isn't the weapon it used to be. Their ball movement doesn't slice teams open anymore. Their young players aren't bridging the gap quick enough, and they simply can't match OKC's speed, versatility, or physicality. They've become the version of teams they used to run off the court, slow, predictable, and too dependent on Steph's brilliance. When that third quarter ended, it didn't feel like just another blowout. It felt symbolic, like the moment the league showed everyone which direction the future is moving. OKC isn't knocking on the door anymore. They're already in the house, feet up, controlling the vibe. And this wasn't luck or a random cold night from Golden State. This was structure, depth, coaching, chemistry, and talent all lining up at once. They're younger, they're deeper, they're faster, they're more connected, and they're star-powered at the top, with Shai playing like the best player alive and Chet developing into a generational two-way force. The Warriors once changed basketball with pace and space. OKC is pushing the next evolution. Lineup versatility, positionless defense, unselfish offense, and overwhelming depth. They're building through culture and development, and every player who touches the floor fits their identity perfectly. This is the kind of foundation that doesn't just win a title, it sustains success for years. And the part that should scare everybody is that this version of OKC is still early in its development curve. If this is how powerful they look in November, imagine what they're going to be by the time the playoffs arrive. Imagine what they'll look like in May or June when the stakes climb and teams start tightening their rotations. OKC's rotation is already tight, already disciplined, already connected. The new era of dominance isn't coming, it's already here, and it's living in Oklahoma City.